So I'm back for another video, and as you can see, Netmarble they dropped the official announcement for the update that is going live today. And from this update, they told us that Chapter 7 is unlocked, and adding to that, the red Gowther and the blue Galland are dropping in this patch, in this update. Those are like the main things, but there are like other things here that 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 are coming in this update, which is not as major as these two news, but I will leave this link of the update in the description below. But the main thing I'm gonna discuss is whether you guys should summon for the red Gowther and blue Gallant banner. And for if you want the short answer, I would say yes for sure, because both units are okay. Gowther as of now is probably still the best unit of in the game, even in the Japan version, which is like months ahead of the global one, and he's still like arguably the best unit in the game. And get the blue Gallant is pretty strong, but the only downside is that green Escanor is probably coming like in a month or so. So once green Escanor comes out, he just kind of destroys Gallant. But for now, like as soon as he drops, he'll be pretty strong. Let me just go into Gowther's skills first. Okay, so let me just start off with his first skill, Memory Arrow. His level 1 is just 120% AoE on everyone, and his rank 2 and rank 3 skills are also the rank 2 doesn't get a damage jump from the rank 1, but it disables attack skills for 1 turn, and the rank 2 deals 180% of attack on all enemies, but disables attack skills for 2 turns instead of the 1 turn from the rank 2 skill. And this is a debuff skill at rank 2 and 3. So basically this skill at rank 1 is just like a throwaway card because 120% multiplier isn't the best. Rank 2, the damage doesn't really get increased, but you can use the rank 2 skills for disabling attack skills. You can use it as a debuff for a character that has a weak point like Jericho. Because if you throw on a damage and a disable attack, if you throw a rank 2 or rank 3, it disables attack skills, and that counts as a debuff, which means that Jericho, if you're running Jericho, you can use her skill that has the one with the weak point, the one that inflicts weak point. So she'll just do 3 times, like she'll just do triple damage on that skill. So you can use him as a debuffing unit, and this thing is really good because if you disable attack skills, it counters characters like Ban and like Jericho, like mainly because when you disable attack skills, Ban can't use his AoE attack, and Jericho can't use a weak point ability. She can still bleed, I'm pretty sure, because her bleed skill is counted as a debuff skill. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain it is counted as a debuff skill. So yeah, because it applies a debuff, obviously. So yeah, Jericho can't get her massive damage off when you use this ability at rank 2 or rank 3. But the main reason why Gowther is arguably the best unit in the game is because of this card. This card makes it so that you just like rank up all the cards for like example what okay, rank 1 increases skill ranks of one ally. Example, like you have like 3 cards on like a certain champion, and if you use a Gowther to rank Gowther's rank 1, you can select that one character that you want to rank up your cards with. And example, they have 3 cards, you'll just rank up all 3 cards from he'll just rank up all 3 cards by 1 level. So example, a character has 3 level 1 cards, you use this on the character, and the character just becomes the character just gets 3 level 2s instead. And you can, and because like in PvP it's very hard to get a level 3 card, you don't really see level 3 cards being accessible in PvP that much. But with Gowther it's way easier to get a level 3 card. Example, you have two of the same cards for a character. You can just combine them together and use a rank up by Gowther, and then you just get a level 3 instantly. His rank 2 basically does that same thing, but to like everyone in your team. So everyone's skills just go up by one rank. But I mean, if your skill is already rank 3, then obviously you can't go to rank 4, so you just remain at rank 3. And and rank 3 increases skill ranks of all allies and increases basic stats by 20% for 3 turns. This is basically like a mini Arthur boost, but obviously Arthur at his level 3 grants like debuff immunity, so in terms of boosting the stats, Arthur is still better, like, yeah, because debuff immunity is pretty solid by 20% for 3 turns. So this is really good, but mainly you don't really use the rank 3 card, honestly. You just use the rank 1 and 2, because if you like, you don't really want to combine two rank 2s to become a rank 3, because it's just better to have two AoE rank ups instead of like one of them with like a buff pretty much. But the thing with Gowther is that example you have three of these cards, okay? You have three of these cards. You can just use the first one to rank up. Like you can use the first level 1 to rank up Gowther, and then you'll just get, and then his other rank ups will just go to rank 2. Okay, example, you have two of the rank up cards, okay? Like two of the level 1 Gowther rank up cards. He can rank himself up with one of the cards, and then since the skill rank will increase, right, his second rank 1 card will become a rank 2. So you can then use the second rank up card, which will then be a rank 2 to rank up every single skill of your characters. So that's why Gowther is really good. As for this, right, as for his ult, inflicts damage equal to 350% of attack on all enemies and depletes 3 outmove gauge orbs. Like at level 1, his ult doesn't really hit that hard, because like if you were to compare to like King's ult and Dian's ult, it's actually like pretty weak at rank 1, because Dian's ult is like 525%, I think, and King's ult is like 400+% but it ignores defense, so their ults still hit harder than Gowther. But he depletes 3 ultimate move gauges, so like there's utility on this as well, not just purely damage. But if you were to see, if you have him at 6/6, right, that means if you get enough dupes for him, 525% damage is pretty solid. And you have to keep in mind that it removes out cages, so it's like really useful. And as for his link out, he deals 400% of attack on all enemies and depletes 5 outmove gauges. So basically what this means is that no matter how many outgauge the enemy you're facing, once if you have the link, right, and you basically just take off all of their outgauge, like their entire bar just like disappears. And at 6/6 he has a 600% multiplier, which is really solid. The problem is that the problem is that you can't really get the link out that easily, because if you look at the link units, it's blue king, green king and red king, and you really want to have blue king on your team because he's like really solid, and Gowther and king like actually pairs really well together because of this rank up card. If Gowther ranks up King's card, he basically makes it so that King's level 1 can turn into a Petrify. So that's why they synergize very well, and you don't really want to use King as his link. For links, you can go for Slater because he's an SSR, but it's way harder to max out Slater because he's an SSR, and like his out is much harder to max out. Like what I would recommend is that just max out the red Slater because you get both of them, you get like 280 attack, but obviously because you they are not like linking ultimates, right? Like it doesn't it won't form a combined attack, but you both like by using Slater, the like SSR and SR1 both gives you 280 attack. But the thing is that since the red Slater is an SR unit, he's easier to max out, and he's easier to max out in levels and as well as get more dupes onto his out. So it will be more beneficial for you to go for the red Slater. And as for his passive, he increases all allies attack by 10% at the start of the next turn if the hero doesn't take damage. So it limits at 5 times, resets upon taking damage. So basically, if for some reason like the enemy like ignores Gowther for 5 turns, like he just gets a 50% attack boost for all his allies. But the problem is that in PvP, like people are gonna like hit Gowther a lot, so his passive isn't really that important because like you won't really be doing that much. You won't really see it in much use because it just resets upon taking damage. If you get hit by an AoE, it's just gone. But as you can see by like the unit ratings here, right? The unit rating here, he's pretty much good for everything. Like he's extremely good for PvP. He's extremely good for PvE as well. He's basically good for everything. That's why he's probably like the best unit in the game right now. Just he's just a jack of all trades. Like you can just tell from the graph right here, his passive isn't the best, but for almost everything else he's like almost maxed out in the charts. As for Galland, the problem is with Galland is that Green Escanor is coming out, but for now he's really solid. If you look at his passive right here, Galland will coerce an enemy at the start of the battle. When coerced, the target can only target Galland and cannot activate debuffs. This effect lasts as long as Galland is in the battle. So what this means is that like once you start off the match, example you running Galland. At the start of the match, he'll just randomly target one character on the opposing team, and then he'll just coerce the target. So that target that he randomly coerces like can only hit him because the target is taunted, and like that target cannot activate any debuffs. The only way to like, I mean, if you've seen the anime, it's kind of the same thing, like how this passive works. The only way to remove it is if the unit that is coerced dies or Galland dies. So it's kind of like it kind of follows the anime, like how his petrification thing works. But this is not the petrify ability, but it is the same idea. So you either need to so like if your unit dies, it gets removed, or if Galland dies, it gets removed. But there's like a commandant here, but there's a commandant which is like pretty much like a second passive. Petrifies allies and enemies who have used rank up and rank down skills, for 2 turns. And then basically this is a counter to Gowther. But as you can see from the update, right, they are dropping Galland and Gowther at the same time. And like this commandant basically just counters Gowther because every time he uses a rank up skill, he just gets petrified for 2 turns. But on the bright side, you're most likely like always running King alongside Gowther. So like even if he gets petrified, you can just like cleanse the petrification, and then yeah, then Gowther is free to go again. But if you don't have if you don't have a cleanse card and you rank up, you just get petrified for 2 turns, which is like a counter to Gowther pretty much. And then his first skill inflicts amplify damage equal to 100% of attack on one enemy. Amplify is so that amplify is that damage dealt plus 30% per active buff on self. So basically, when he get buffs, he gets more damage on his amplify card, which is his critical strike. Which is this skill is really decent, by the way. It does a decent amount of damage. Right here, this ability isn't that good, honestly. Like, you can just tell from the multipliers. Like at rank 1, it's a 68% multiplier of attack. It's a 68% of attack on all enemies. And it applies a bleed debuff on everyone for 2 turns. And bleed is additional damage equal to 80% of damage dealt at the end of every turn. The thing is that this card, because of the low multipliers, it really doesn't hit hard, but it is cheap damage, I guess. If you don't cleanse it, the bleed damage can add up, but it's nothing too impressive, honestly. Like at rank 2 it is 102%, rank 3 is 170%. The multipliers aren't the best, so this card isn't the best. Like again, like the first card, the single target card, has amplify, so you need buffs for this card to actually hit like really hard. And the good thing about that is that his ultimate increases heroes' basic stats by 50% for 3 turns and inflicts 420% of attack on one enemy. So the single target damage is okay, but it's nothing crazy at rank 1. But he increases his own base stats right here. So for 50%, so basically he has increase in damage, attack, HP and defense. But what that also means is that it counts as a buff. So when you're out, you get like buffs, and then you just get increased damage on this ability because increasing base stats counts as a buff, and this skill makes it so that the more buffs you have, the more damage you do. So his out and this ability skills synergizes pretty well together. But again, Green Escanor is probably coming out soon, so like he's gonna get shut down by Escanor because he's a blue unit and Escanor is a green unit, and Escanor just hits really hard, so he can just take the Galland out. Like he just like removed the Galland from the battlefield. But at 6/6 he used 630% damage on his out, which is pretty decent, honestly. And yeah, that's about it, I'm pretty sure. As for his associations, there isn't a character that like gives him outlink. So like all of his associations just give him like increased stats, and like his out damage can't really be boosted. So I would say summon for this banner, because Galland is pretty good until like Escanor comes out. Like I mean, if by the time Escanor comes out, he's gonna be pretty useless, in my opinion. He's gonna like probably like drop out of the meta like as soon as Escanor comes out. But for now, like I feel like Escanor will drop like in probably like a month time or something. So you can use him to climb the ranks if you haven't already reached champion 5. He's a pretty solid unit, but yeah, he just gets destroyed by Green Escanor. And Gowther is on the banner, so I mean Gowther is like a must summon for. So I would say you should summon for this banner. And plus, since he's out and this ability synergizes really well together, you kinda wanna like rush his out, honestly. So you can, if he'll be even better if you have the green Merlin, the one with the perfect cube, and the passive whereby you start with one out gauge. She'll be good with Galland because Galland, you when you're playing Galland, you want to get his out off to get his basic stats up, as like so he can make use of the amplify damage on his single target ability, so he can hit much harder. So yeah, that's about it. I would so once again summon for this banner, but uh I would probably only do like one rotation though. I might, because like I was like being like really like hasty, and I end up summoning way too many times for the Merlin banner, so I'm like kind of low on diamonds right now. But I will probably do like one rotation, I believe, cause I still need diamonds for the costumes and stuff. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next video.